welcome back. Well, the surge in the price of oil is still at the fore of the commodity space. Adesola Sumoni joins us now from Reading in the UK for that conversation. Hi, Adesola. Good morning.
Hi, Ine. Good morning. Thank you for having me on the show.
Good to have you. So we saw a tapering of oil prices this morning after that applaudable and exciting high yesterday. Some have called it profit-taking. What's going on now?
So, like you've seen, oil has had a volatile week, declining 2% on Monday and then recovering. And many factors are responsible for it. But one of it is, like you said, data yesterday from the American Petroleum Institute showed a significant drawdown in U.S. crude stockpiles by about 875,000 barrels. We also see, strong demand. Demand is recovered, which the drawdown, signifies, strength in demand growth, which we expect to reach pre-pandemic levels. Then also we are seeing geopolitical tensions in Eastern Europe between, the United States and Russia over Ukraine. We are seeing tensions also in the Middle East. All of this together point to the fact that oil prices are going to remain elevated. Obviously, we're going to see mild swings in the price, but overall, it's going to remain elevated going forward. Some analysts have estimated that it would average around $85 per barrel this year. Some more optimistic analysts put it at around $96 per barrel this year. In fact, Goldman Sachs sees oil prices reaching $100 per barrel around the third quarter of this year.
Wow, those are very interesting figures you're calling, and sounds really good. I mean, for Nigeria, that we have $62, so you can imagine the margin. But then it also brings to the fore, how much are we producing? What are we presenting out there? How much benefits are we getting from all of this?
Yes, it does. I mean, yeah. So yes, we like I mentioned, oil prices are kind of like elevated right now, reaching trading around 7-year high of around $88 per barrel. But Nigeria is not fully enjoying the benefits of the higher oil prices because, according to OPEC Plus, our production quota is around 1.86 million barrels per day, but we are only able to produce about 1.3 million barrels per day for many reasons. One of it is, vandalization of pipeline infrastructure, among other factors. So because of all this, we are not able to, fully enjoy, the benefits of the higher oil prices. There's also the issue of, remittance of from the NNPC to the central bank or to the consolidated revenue fund, which the NNPC have not been remitting quite enough because of the high amount they have to pay, to subsidize PMS in the domestic market.
Yeah, well, I see that on your slide where you said that the Monetary Policy Committee has asked the NNPC to address the dwindling oil revenue. But what exactly can they do about this?
That's an interesting question. But let me give you some background, right? So first, what is going on? The NNPC gets some dollar inflows from exporting crude oil in the global market. And then they use part of that money to pay for importation of petroleum products. However, as prices rise in the global commodities market, as oil prices increase in the global commodities market, it increases the landing cost of PMS in the domestic market, and it also increases the amount that the NNPC has to pay to foreign refiners. And that has many implications for Nigeria. One is that there's less money to be remitted to FARC, and that has other implications. For example, if you look at the composition of state government revenue, you see that around 77%, north of 77%, come from FARC allocation, with the rest coming from the internally generated revenue. If you remove Lagos from that equation and maybe Ogun State from that equation, the rate increases to around 88%. Now, what does this mean? It means that as FARC is reducing, there's less money to be shared across states, and that has implications for state governments, budget implementation. That's why you see things like, state governments being unable to pay salaries. You see a lot of abandoned projects. You see state governments struggling to pay pension for their workers, and so on and so forth. And in this year, it is particularly important because this is a pre-election year. So we may see a lot of state governments, trying to increase their expenditure, trying to complete some projects just to, be in the good books of the voters. And with FAC reducing, it will probably increase, the borrowing requirement of the state government, and that has implications for, domestic interest rates in Nigeria.
Well, gas is also in the news. Africa is, including Nigeria, good enough, is increasing its gas production. What's driving this, and what does this? How does this affect the gas space in Nigeria? We've had to talk about gas for a while now.
I mean, so the news is here. Tanzania is, going to also become one of the exporters of gas in Africa. They've found some gas reserves, and they're trying to bring the project up to speed to begin to export natural gas. And that is positive for Africa as a whole because it will probably increase the continent's gas exports. And this is particularly important because in the global market now, the gas prices are high. We are seeing, especially now with these tensions with Russia. Russia is one of the largest producers of natural gas globally. So with these tensions with Russia, gas prices are also elevated. But with Tanzania coming on stream, obviously, they're not going to start producing gas today or tomorrow or even this year. But I think it's positive for Africa as a whole. But in terms, it's positive for Africa as a whole, making us, a big producer of natural gas. The other producers in Africa are Nigeria, we have Angola, we have Equatorial Guinea, I think Cameroon, with Nigeria being the largest. So that is positive. It also can, has the potential to increase our supply of natural gas globally, but that is more of the medium term rather than the near term.
Okay, so let's go to commodity space now. The price of cocoa in global commodities markets is up almost 1%, 0.92 on improving demand. What are the other factors affecting cocoa at this time, and what's the near-term outlook from your perspective?
I'll say it's sweet tooth. So coming from Halloween, we've seen, especially in the United States, in Europe, we are seeing demand for chocolate increase coming from Halloween, and then Christmas, and then now there's Valentine's coming up, and then after Valentine's there's Easter. So all of these subsequent events are increasing the demand for chocolate, which is increasing the demand for cocoa. Also, we are seeing a drawdown in cocoa stockpiles in Europe and North America, and those are also contributing to, those factors are also contributing to the stronger demand for chocolate and the stronger demand for cocoa. So these factors, I think, they're likely to persist in the near term. Also, as risk assessments for the Omicron variant is looking a little bit mild, so we may further see some more demand for cocoa coming on stream. But also, we are seeing we expect huge supply also coming from the big producers in Ivory Coast and Ghana. So that may kind of moderate further price increases in cocoa going forward.
Yeah, and also we see Kenya coffees in the news.
Oh yeah, so the price of what's happening now, the exports, the price of Kenya coffee at their auction was down a little bit. It was up a little bit, and I think that's because of easing of restrictions in globally is increasing the demand for what's it called, quick coffee, or no, what do you call this? Not quick coffee. It's increasing the demand for coffee as people move back to work. We have seen the price of coffee increase slightly, and that is why.
So, hello, are you there?
I didn't get that. What did you say?
Okay, I was asking what else is happening in the commodity space.
In global commodity space, we are seeing some activity. We are seeing, for instance, for corn and wheat, we are seeing their price decline because of the issues around production, tight concerns around supply disruptions, especially because of these geopolitical tensions between Russia and Ukraine, that traders are afraid of, traders are anxious that might affect, what's the word? Traders are anxious that might affect supply of corn and wheat coming from Ukraine and Russia. we are seeing the price of cocoa increase, like I told you, due to strong demand in chocolate. For sugar, we are seeing the price of sugar increase. Sorry, we are seeing the price of sugar decline because of the stronger US dollar, which makes the commodity more expensive to holders of foreign currencies.
All right, just before we let you go, Adeshola, where do you see the price of oil going by the end of this week?
I think oil prices are still going to remain elevated to the end of this week. Yes, we may see some small fluctuations in oil prices, but I think it will still trade around the 7-year high of $88 per barrel.
All right. Thank you so much, Adeshola Somonu, analyst with Financial Derivatives Company. Thank you for joining us and sharing your thoughts with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
We'll take a moment. When we come back, we'll do an opening call to the markets.